Yo, what's up guys, I'm Berlixanic. Don't ask why I'm in the J2 Dripbreed skin, but I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a thumbnail, and I'm using pretty much the Spark Sky method, but I'm going to use it on PC. First, you get the Stellar Graphics pack. You can use whatever, but you know, this is his style, and I'm assuming most of you are here to try and replicate his style. So what I like to do is go in a Skywars or Bed Wars game, and you could do duos, trios, it doesn't matter. And I'll usually just play a game, but unless you have replay, then you can just like go in an old replay like this and just look for a map you like. So I did my last one on Ivory, like the one in the thumbnail inside of the thumbnail, but I'll just do Pillars because it goes pretty well with this map or this pack. So you get like a part, you kind of like angle it a little bit, like where it looks kind of nice. So yep, so you get an angle, F1, and lower your FOV. I think I did 60 in my one there, or 70, but you know, you could do whatever. So I'm just gonna make sure the player's not in frame. I think this is pretty good, so I'm just gonna, make sure you're looking pretty much straight if you want it to be easy. So screenshot, on PC, by the way, that's Windows and print screen, or otherwise I think you could use a snipping tool. But yeah, once you get the screenshot, don't forget to change your FOV back, because you're gonna have a bad time if you don't do that. So now I'm in a program called Minimator, and it's pretty similar to what Spark Sky used to animate their characters. So I'm just gonna go new project. It doesn't matter what you name it, because you're probably never gonna go back to it. So you go here, make a character, human. You could find your skin here, and I'm just going to use my usual skin. Oh, that's not my usual skin. Once you do this, you can actually move the joints, and what you can do if you want it to be like more professional is you press the snap button here and put this to 45, so it'll, like, when you move it, then it'll move to 45 degrees. Or if you want to be more specific, you can do that, but in the sake of this video, I'm just going to do this. So now you want to move the legs like this, and yeah, you're pretty much just doing the same thing. So now you have like this walking. You can angle the head a little bit if you want. Oh, I would turn off snap if you're gonna do that. Yeah, so now he's looking maybe this way or this way. Make him look up a little bit. So now kind of zoom in, because you're gonna be screenshotting wherever you're looking. So maybe like this might be good, or just zoom out, it doesn't really matter. And once you do this, background, show clouds, turn that off, show ground, and then export, turn off high quality rendering, remove background, turn that on, and 1080p or 4K if you want, and then just save that. And then once you're done, you can, for free, use PhotoP. If you have access to Photoshop, I'd recommend using that because it's faster. But you make a 1080p project, you open in place, and you want to grab the screenshot you got in Minecraft, and then you want to grab the screenshot you got from your character animation. So now crop this, or pan so it's like closer. Position your player, so maybe about here. If it looks a little off, you can change the size or whatever, maybe like this. It looks a little weird right now, but that's because we haven't added like lighting and shadowing. If you want to like change directions, you do edit, transform, and flip, but I'm not going to do that. So now we can add some color correction. So I like to add some contrast and brightness, just both of them. I think it, or I mean, it depends on like the kind of thumbnail you're going for, but I usually just add both. So yeah, I think that lighting already looks better, and also do that with the player. So contrast, brightness, and people like to have the character pretty bright just because it's usually that kind of style. So now, if you want to add a shadow, it's actually really easy. You just select the eclipse tool, draw it. You can kind of just guess most of the time. It doesn't really matter. No one's going to judge your shadow. So opacity, go maybe like anything around this. Let's see how this looks. So yeah, about that. You can edit it later if you don't think it looks right, but this is just an example. So now, if you want to add a little like white outline to like emphasize how the player like looks, you do inner shadow, oh no, not inner shadow, inner glow. Put that to white, and edit the settings a little bit to how you like it. Whatever, just do whatever looks best to you. So maybe like this. It's not really too noticeable, but it really will pop. So now the important part, we're gonna hide the player and we're going to blur the background. So with the pen tool, or just whatever you use to outline, you just draw around. So you just click the points, and it's kind of a slow process, but once you outline it, then you'll realize that it's a lot better than if you were to do it any other method. It doesn't have to be perfect because no one's going to care. It's just motion blur that you're gonna put in the background anyways. By the way, if you guys are enjoying this, make sure to subscribe because we're coming up on 2K pretty soon, and I'd really appreciate the support because, you know, you guys are awesome. So now that this is outlined, you go around the outside and you want to right click, make selection, and now it should do this, Control C, Control V, and if it makes you do that, just pop up, and now it's in a separate layer. So that means that when we bring him back and we add rather Gaussian blur or motion blur, then it will blur the background to however you like. I will do maybe this. I wouldn't do too much, but I think that's good. And if you want to add a blur behind the player, then you can copy him. Oh wait, that's the shadow, sorry. You copy the player, paste, and press the right arrow a few times, drag him under. Here we go. So now he's behind him, and you can make, if you want to do like a color, like one that like I did in the thumbnail of this video, then you can always go under color overlay and select whichever other colors you want. So white, whatever you want, and then you could do multiple colors if you want it to do that, but I will just do default with this one. So now that you have this, you will do blur, motion blur, and add a lot, and he already kind of has blur behind him. And now we kind of have this effect. You can kind of see these white lines, but you can fix that by turning off the glow. Now, I'm not really going to go over too much of the advanced stuff. This is just for quick and easy thumbnails. So now for the text, you just make a text box and you type whatever thumbnail. I would do all caps depending on the font, and you click this T right here. Make sure all the text is selected. Do maybe 100 or not 100. Do like 150 or 200, and drag it about here. I'm gonna use the Minecraft font for this one, so download it. You can find it on dafont.com. So once you have this, it's also a bit smaller, so make it larger. So you could do white or whatever you want. It doesn't matter. How I did the one in the thumbnail is I did a hard light, or not hard light, I think I did overlay. Yeah, so it kind of fades out like that. And then I made another layer above it, and I did normal, no fill, and then I clicked on it, and then I went to stroke. So now it has this like stroke around it, but I'll also show you the way that Sparks Guy did it in the thumbnail tutorial. So it's white, and there's all right. So here you had a drop shadow. You can add this below it, and it's usually a pretty like thick shadow. So I would recommend doing spread at max, size at like smallest, and then change the angle to maybe about 90 or somewhere over this way, and then just lower the distance to whatever you think looks nice. So maybe like this. And once that's done, you can also add the gray box that they did. It really depends on what you're going for. So you just put that behind the text, opacity, and then there you go, same effect. Oh, also if this is still outlined, right click with the pen tool and remove path. So yeah, that's kind of how most of this is done. Sometimes for thumbnails that I make, I will use an overlay. You can just find them all over the place. I usually like using the black border But most of these are usually pretty good too. So I'll just add the black border to this one, and I'll show you how the other ones work, but I'm not going to use it in this. So it kind of just adds more like depth, and if it doesn't really look right to you, you can add the overlay effect and it'll make it like different. But make sure the black border is in the very front, so it's like over everything. And if you want to add like more detail, if you don't want more of a modern thumbnail, then you can just find an overlay. I'll use the basic dust and grain one. So you just fill it so it's like a max on screen, and then you can do overlay, put it behind the player or whatever is in front, probably behind the text too. And so now you have like the grainy effect, and you can also lower the opacity if you think it's too much. So that's pretty much a tutorial. If you want to see how to do montages, I have a more detailed tutorial that I'll link in the description. So thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed. See ya.